happens all the time. And I think it's on issues maybe that the general public or the media doesn't focus on. And so the public doesn't hear how we are able to come together, work together on important issues.
And I ended up collaborating, becoming really good friends with, and ultimately wanting to support people on both sides of the aisle. And you get this commentary that often comes from the press, and it often comes from even your friends, which is like, oh, well, your approach to politics is totally crazy. And my only response to that is actually it seems rather sane. You know, why is it that I have to reflexively respond to these emotionally charged issues and make all of my decisions based on the most emotionally charged things, which is probably the worst things to be making decisions on?
What we need to have is a bipartisan technology agenda for America that says we are going to do everything it takes. It means dealing with some of the bigger issues that are controversial, like the ability of H-1B visas and people that we know that now are parking their brains in other countries and not able to bring them here, which again makes us lose innovation.
Especially if they were educated here.
Folks come in, we subsidize their education, the best minds from the globe, and then as soon as their student visas are over, we kick them out of our country.
Force them to leave, yeah.
Right, so there are these big issues that are controversial, the patent trolls and things like that, but there's a whole bunch of issues which Senator Fischer and I and others are starting to drill down on that just say, hey, wait a minute, something is seriously wrong in our country because we are now choking innovation as opposed to creating an environment where innovation can flourish.
You know, you take like automation, for instance. We think of robots as automation, as a tool of automation, and and ultimately as a thing that sort of steals jobs away from humans. But when you're trying to compete in a global market, you know, where there's currency disparities and super low labor costs in China, the reality is that if we had, you know, larger factories that were capable of automating, we would be able to compete. We would be able to produce goods at a lower price, and those sort of automation factories and the people building the robots actually are very highly paid, high-skilled jobs.
The potential for us transforming surface transportation in America is mind-boggling. If you start thinking about the potential for drones to take traffic off of our roads, autonomous cars. Now look at what's happening with drone innovation globally right now. Our FAA is not even promulgating a regulatory framework that allows innovation in this space. So what are innovators doing? They're going to other countries. Right now in places like France, they're using drones to do mine surveys, saving time, saving money. But our regulatory framework right now isn't allowing for innovation to thrive in this country.
Technology moves fast, government moves slow. It's designed to move slowly, except when it comes to regulation. And I think Congress has turned that over to the agencies. When you have the FDA out there regulating health IT, that's an issue that I'm interested in. You know, that why do we have to have FDA approval on a Fitbit?
If we don't fix that bureaucracy, 20 years from now, we're going to be going to China to buy drugs that are curative, right? That were tested in China. The clinical trial was run in China for a tenth or even 100th the cost.
The government is not moving at the speed of innovation. In fact, we're light years behind. In the Senate, we don't even use cloud technology. The Department of Defense is in the cloud now, but we're not even there yet.
I mean, there's a huge range of different jobs that we're really good at. We're actually the global leader in some of these things. We're starting to lose that advantage.
We raced to the moon and led humanity away from the bounds of this planet and opened up incredible technology and industry sprang from that space race. Well, we're now losing, or the race to cure cancer, which will happen in our lifetime, I believe, to cure Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. Is that going to happen with American ingenuity, with American advancements, or are we going to continue to be hampered in this country?
There was just a report from MIT this week, well, speaking of an innovation deficit in America, and they took 4 major recent global discoveries, innovations, none of which happened in the U.S.
We have the capacity to continue to lead with human breakthroughs in every field of endeavor, but we are not doing. We don't have that sense of national urgency